Welcome back for another deep dive.
Mhm.
Today, we've got a source with a really, let's say, unique perspective on how organizations work.
hmm
It takes this idea of a company and compares it quite directly, actually, to the human body.
Yeah, it's a fascinating analogy. The source basically says, look, if you want to understand a company or build one, maybe think about it like, well, like us, like our bodies.
Right. It suggests that framework gives you some real clarity.
It does.
So our goal here is to, unpack that. We'll go through the comparisons the source makes point by point and see what insights pop out. Okay, let's get into it.
The basic idea is just that. A company functions fundamentally like a body does. Simple starting point.
But then it gets specific, mapping body parts to roles. First up, the source says the eyes of the company. Those are the supervisors.
Right, the eyes. Which makes you think about perspective, doesn't it? Being on the ground level.
Seeing what's immediately happening.
Exactly. The source seems to imply they provide that sort of granular day-to-day vision, what's going on right now.
Okay, makes sense. Then after eyes, you've got ears. The source connects these to hearing the news and, crucially, reacting to it.
Yeah, so if eyes are looking in, ears are listening out, it's about picking up external signals,
Like market changes, competitor moves.
all that stuff. Customer feedback, too. But it's not just passive hearing. The key is hearing and reacting, being responsive.
Got it. Moving inwards. The brain. This one's equated with innovations.
Which is interesting, right? Not just R&D, but the whole innovative capacity.
The thinking, the problem-solving engine.
Yeah, the source positions it as central. Like, without that active brain, the company can't adapt or generate new solutions. It stagnates.
Okay, then the nose. The source says this is for smelling out opportunities or bad offers.
Yeah. The intuition part, maybe?
Yeah, gut feeling.
Kind of. It's about sensing things that aren't maybe obvious yet. Subtle shifts, potential risks, or those hidden gems of opportunity. Evaluating things before you jump in.
All right, so we have sensing and thinking. What about processing and moving? The digestive system comes next, linked to resources.
Mm-hmm. Think about digestion. Taking stuff in, breaking it down, getting energy.
Extracting the useful bits.
Exactly. So resources, money, materials, even information they need to be taken in, processed efficiently, and turned into fuel or value for the company. Bad digestion means waste.
And movement. How does the company get around or deliver things? Legs are logistics.
That one feels pretty intuitive. Legs move you.
Point A to point B.
Right. Logistics moves the goods, the services, the information. Without strong legs, the company's stuck, can't reach customers or expand.
And the hands, what do?
Productions.
The making, the doing.
Yeah, the hands build, they execute. It's the physical output, the tangible result of all the other functions, where effort becomes, well, product or service.
Okay, now the source gets, let's say, really direct here. It talks about the private parts.
Right. This is where it gets interesting, as you said.
The source links these to confidential mergers and partnerships, specifically to double the productions.
It's definitely a bold comparison, maybe a bit provocative.
You think?
Well, yeah. But sticking to the analogy's logic, it frames these big strategic moves, mergers, key partnerships, often kept under wraps as the way the company reproduces or grows significantly.
Like biological propagation, but for business growth.
Exactly. And specifically aimed, as the source puts it, at boosting output, doubling productions. It connects that biological drive to scale up the business.
Wow. Okay, so stepping back, the source paints this picture of a complete system. Sensing, thinking, processing, moving, doing, and even growing strategically.
Yeah, every part interconnected, vital, just like a body.
And what's really striking, I think, is how it boils down all that organizational complexity into these very simple, almost visceral biological functions.
It does. It gives you a kind of basic functional map for thinking about how a company works, or maybe should work, its overall health.
So for you, the listener, this offers maybe a different angle on any organization you're part of, whether you run it, work in it, whatever.
It definitely makes you think about the connections, doesn't it? How reliant each part is on the others.
And it raises that question. How does this play out day to day?
Because the source ends on a final, kind of abrupt and maybe challenging note for you to chew on.
Right after laying out this whole functional body.
It says, and every day we poop.
So
Oh.
what does this all mean? Something to think about.